Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Skeptics to Seekers, Exploring the Edges of Wellness, the podcast where we dive deep into the world of holistic health and self-discovery. Join us today, Leandra Jackson, wellness advocate, massage therapist, self-care coach, nutritionist, and yoga teacher, and Heather Bergen, self-discovery and human design coach and yoga teacher, as we guide you on a journey to uncover the secrets of wellness. Each episode will challenge conventional wisdom, explore innovative practices, and empower you to take charge of your well-being. Get ready to transform your skepticism into curiosity and your curiosity into a path of wellness. Let's embark on this journey together.
Welcome to our episode, Beyond the Pharmaceutical Paradigm, 10 Healing Modalities that Challenge the Medical Model. In this episode of Skeptics to Seekers, we'll explore 10 transformational healing modalities that offer alternatives to conventional Western medicine, from energy work and somatic therapy to herbalism and sound healing. We break down what each practice is and how it supports holistic wellness, and what it costs to try it as a curious consumer. Whether you're skeptical, spiritually curious, or somewhere in between, this episode invites you to expand your healing toolkit and reconnect with your body, intuition, and autonomy.
Excellent. So welcome. We've said that a few times already. Glad you're here and joining us. If you've ever felt dismissed, over-medicated, or unheard by, in a clinical setting, then you are not alone. We've definitely experienced that right alongside you. And that's why today we're exploring healing modalities that offer something different, something more intuitive, more empowering, and often more personal. So for me personally, getting out of the military in 2006, I knew I didn't want to be on that pharmaceutical paradigm. And so I got into the modality of massage therapy and figured if I could heal myself, I can help others heal as well. And it really did make a difference. The first thing that I really noticed was I ended up spraining my knee skiing after the military, even though I had many injuries previously that I know I needed to work on. But just that recent acute injury, I was like, through massage school, my knee healed so fast. And where if I would have went to the doctor, it would have been like anti-inflammatories, pain medicine, physical therapy, which I'm not going to knock physical therapy. It can be very beneficial, but we want to stay in a good healing cycle versus just strengthening before, we release the tension and heal the tissue. So I do find that is something we need to pay attention to. But yeah, and then the mental health aspect of being in the military, having trauma as a kid, just compiles.
Oh yeah.
And all of that with the healing modalities and all the natural stuff that I've done since then has really put me on a really amazing wellness path that I don't regret for a second.
So. Right. I think most of us that are in this field, in this realm of alternative healing modalities, have a story, a big story, usually that prompted us to dive deeper into this. One story I was thinking of was just, I fell at my mom's house on the stairs and really hurt my back. And I was already, luckily, because of the way my insurance works, you have to get referrals for everything. And luckily, I already had a referral to physical therapy. So I fell. I was not in town. So I had to go to an alternative provider, a chiropractor that I had seen before, who really helped. She didn't work on my injured spot. She worked around it, but just to help keep all those other muscles from tightening up. And then I was finally able to come home, and I was treated like, here, just take Motrin. They wouldn't even give me like real pain medicine, and rest.
Right.
Which honestly is not the best thing you can do when your
Right.
muscles are trying to tighten up.
Yep.
So if I had just gone to bed and rested, I don't think I would have recovered from that injury. But luckily, I already had started with some alternative care. I already had my physical therapist, which physical therapists they're kind of like bridging that gap between alternative and the medical model. But this specific physical therapist is definitely more of an intuitive healer as well as a physical therapist. Definitely. And so I was so grateful to be able to go to her and have her help me work through this. And it's kind of a non-event, but it could have been an event that literally changed the course of my life.
Yeah, it could have like lasted years. So many people get those injuries and they last years and years, and they're just like our last episode talking about giving their power away to every practitioner that they come across. Right. And waiting for them to validate their issue and heal them when they could be doing it for themselves. Right. Well, yeah, definitely.
And often, like, again, we think like the money, like, oh, if my insurance doesn't cover it, then it's not a valid option.
Right. Very true. And we're going to definitely get into that.
So why look beyond Western medicine? Western medicine has its strengths: emergency care, diagnostics, and life-saving intervention. But when it comes to chronic pain, emotional trauma, or spiritual disconnection, it often falls short. Mm-hmm. Do you have any?
So many years as a massage therapist, there are a lot of clients who I guess I would kind of convert, so to speak, into massage therapy because they say, no, I don't get massage, or I don't like to be touched, or I got a massage and I got really hurt, or they really hurt me and I was sore for too long, or it didn't work, or
they think of massage as like an extra.
Yeah.
Like, oh, it's just to make you feel good.
It's a luxury.
It's a luxury. It's not a healing modality.
Right. And so a lot of those clients that would end up coming to see me, they would say, why didn't I do this sooner? Why didn't I come to you 10 years ago? And one really is, there's several in my mind, but one client that I had specifically was about to go into surgery, like exploratory surgery for his back, because they just couldn't figure out what was wrong. And it wasn't even in his back, it was in his hips. And so working on him even just 3 times, I mean, he was so grateful. He was like, I can't believe that this worked. He was able to stand up straight. He was able to move. He was able to go play basketball again, because that's how he got injured, was just playing too much basketball and like hurt his hip somehow. And when I found that injury and was able to help him heal, like I don't cure things, I don't, do that kind of stuff, but the facilitation of healing is so powerful when it comes to touch. And if you know what you're doing, then people can, they may not have to go have surgery, and it's very powerful.
Amazing.
Yeah,
it is. I found my way into this world starting as a health coach, actually. And again, you go to the doctor and they say diet and exercise, but they don't really tell you there's a million diets, right? Like there's the whole food and the Whole30 and grain-free, gluten-free, elimination diets, paleo diets, and exercise. Mm-hmm. Go to the gym. Mm-hmm. Well, you can walk in the gym, but that did not get you anywhere, right? And then there's certain workout programs that you could do, but you need guidance. Definitely. You cannot just always figure this out on your own. And what is the right exercise, right? Like, is it lifting weights? Is it yoga? Is it running or walking? Right. Or if you feel like you can't do one, I know people will be like, well, I can't run, so forget it.
Right. And you don't want to do the things that you hate either.
Right. Like, so you're finding something that you love, finding a program that lights you up, I guess, is exactly. There's so many. This is just a peek behind the door of so many different things you can try that are not really supported by the medical model,
Right.
other than maybe do that.
Yeah, and the fad dieting. So I just like when you said that, it made me think of all the fad diets, like you were saying. And fad dieting is not healthy. We don't want to do that. We want to have a sustainable way of life. Diet is not a 4-letter word. What it really means is lifestyle.
Yeah.
And we want to be sustained and have a good life, being able to have that. So, there's a lot of different modalities that we can get into behind that door. And, if we were to start with massage therapy, since we're kind of talking about that, it's not just about relaxation. It's not just a luxury. And we want to connect with our body in ways that feel safe and nurturing. And we want to be able to find those practitioners in whatever modality we're doing that fits in our, specific budget. Yeah, budget and in our wheelhouse, like what we can connect to. We don't want to just go to somebody who we're not,
right. I mean, there's so many different
there's so many
different massage therapists, and one is not equal to another.
Mm-hmm.
So getting connected in a community and finding a good recommendation is vital. Like, don't go to the massage place on the corner and then write off massage because it wasn't what you thought it was going to be.
Exactly.
You need to learn a little bit about each modality as you go.
Yes.
And then there's
yoga.
To
get into the different modalities. To talk about the cost.
Yeah.
So massage therapy could be about $80 to $150 per session, depending on what you're getting. If you're getting more therapeutic, or if you want to go to like the expensive spot, like the big hotels, or like on your yacht, on the cruises, that's a little bit different. That's more of the relaxation. If you're looking for something more for healing, facilitating healing, about $80 to $150 a session. And look for trauma-informed or intuitive massage therapists for deeper healing. Yeah, find those reviews, see what those people are capable of, what their specialties are, where they went to school maybe. If you are around the school that they went to, you could even go test out the school with the student massage therapist. And those are usually pretty inexpensive as well. Well, that student was pretty good. Maybe I'll go and see one of the professionals that came from this institute. So that is a great way that you can kind of start your massage therapy path.
And then the next modality we have here is yoga and or breath work. Again, we're fortunate here in Colorado Springs. We have so many different types of yoga and so many different types of breath work, instruction and modalities. And again, finding the one that fits you, asking around what, if you have never done yoga before, power yoga might not be the best choice.
Yeah, may not.
But maybe you love that moving your body. Maybe really it is a good choice for you. It's just very different. And again, don't write off all yoga because you went to a class that didn't, with one teacher that didn't fit your style, when there's hundreds. I know there's hundreds. I could probably name 100 yoga teachers.
There's so many. And don't be afraid to interview them. Maybe send them an email or message online.
Or try out. A lot of the studios have like a pack, like $49 for 2 weeks or some type of introductory pack to try the different sessions.
Right.
Or you can always look online at YouTube or something like that, and then maybe take a few little online classes. There's many instructors there on YouTube, and you could kind of see what you start to like and what you don't, and then maybe check out a yoga studio that's fitting what you are going after.
Definitely.
And those are like $15 to $30 a class, or like $50 to $150 a month for a studio membership. Again, try it first. See if yoga is something that you're going to want to do. And then maybe you try the membership for a month or two and see if you go and you're getting out of it what you were hoping to.
Exactly. I started my first yoga class was when I was in the military, and I was actually deployed. and the MWR.
Yeah.
The MWR had like an instructor that came in, and maybe she was in the military too, I'm not really sure, but she had a yoga class and it was intense. I was super sore. I did not expect that, but I loved it. And so I didn't get back into it so much until after I got out of the military and realized this really helps my body feel better. The stretching, the lengthening, that and Pilates. I really love Pilates too.
Yeah. I had a person come to my yoga class this morning, actually, and she's post-injury. And I mean, we sat and chatted for a minute after, and she's like, well, I'm going back to report to my physical therapist now because I have discovered like rotating my foot in a circle was really painful, or here's a move I totally couldn't do. But if you had not asked me to try to do that, I never would have realized I couldn't move my body in that way. So it's just so it helps you discover, like when we talk about connecting to your body, sometimes it's discovering what your body is and isn't capable of doing.
Exactly.
And not to judge, but just to be aware and be informed so that you can move, figure out what to do next.
And that's how you actually get injured, is that judgment of your movements and those kinds of practices, because you're like, oh, I can do that. But that teacher, could have been teaching and doing yoga for 20 years where this is your first class. So don't do what they do. Modify. Make sure that you're taking it.
That's what we say at the beginning of yoga. Please listen to your body. Notice. I mean, it's all part of that self-discovery.
Exactly. And I've also come across people who are concerned about the spiritual and religious aspect of yoga. And you don't have to get into that side of things. You don't have to become, you don't have to join Hinduism. You don't have to change your religion. Yoga can be a space for you to connect with yourself, to make yourself feel better, to help heal. And that spiritual side can be wherever you are. You don't have to change that. It can help you enhance wherever you are on that aspect of, your life. So don't think that it's like something bad or that you can't enjoy it because it did come from a different part of the world and there can be a religious aspect to it, but it doesn't have to be that way. So it's still an amazing practice.
Again, check out the different spaces because a
Absolutely.
lot of them you'll discover are not.
Yeah, they don't even bring that.
They don't even really like namaste. Okay.
Yep.
Or amen if you really want to. I mean,
right.
It's the same. It's not.
And namaste is more like I honor you and you honor me, and it's not really bringing in that kind of thing. Or the chanting isn't really a religious chant. It's more of just
it's the vibration. The goal of the chant is like humming and bringing that vibration in through your body. Vibration is very healing.
Right.
That is why
it helps to align the energy all the way through the chakras.
It's not. Yeah.
So, yeah. And so if we move into that part, it's kind of a good segue into Reiki and energy healing. And some practitioners offer like sliding scales when it comes to energy healing or, whatever modality you might be working with. You can even do some might do donation-based sessions, especially if they're learning, if they're in school and they're learning. Didn't you just get a bunch of free sessions for like the spinal wave stuff?
Because she's still in school.
She's in school. Yeah. So if you have a friend that's going through these practices, then definitely take advantage of their offerings because they need that experience.
And also, I was just thinking like group sessions. There can be like group sessions too, where they're a lot more affordable.
Yeah,
in that way.
So energy healing can be similar to massage at like $60 to $120 a session, depending on who you're seeing. There's people in that modality. There could be like shamans. There could be the Reiki healers, master Reiki healers, hypnotists, and things of that nature can kind of go into a whole nother path. But definitely check into it. See what people are willing to offer you. A lot of places will give you those free consultations and see if it's a good fit for you.
Life coaching. Yeah, let's talk about that one.
Yeah.
Most life coaches offer a free discovery call. I guess my biggest thing for that one would be, it can be $100 to $300 a session. Figure out who you're talking to and find someone that you resonate with. There are a lot of coaches out there that will promise a lot of things, say they can help you with XYZ, but if you don't believe that they can really help you, or you're not willing to do the work, and you don't resonate with them, like if you don't resonate with them when they're like telling you to do stuff or giving you suggestions, you're not going to do it. And you're going to be resistant, and you're going to spend your money and think that really was not a good use of my money.
Yeah, and people can blame their coaches for their, inability to heal or complete their goals. Whereas, like you were saying, you have to be willing to do the work.
And you have to be willing to do the work and find, again, a coach that's resonating with you.
Yes.
Not just the last person you saw on the internet. And yeah, their messaging is good. That's part of advertising.
Yes. Yep.
But really, when you have that chance to talk to them, find out how you feel after you talk to them.
Right.
Do you feel more empowered? Do you feel like you're ready, like motivated to take that next step?
Right.
Or do you feel a little overwhelmed and
like it's going to be too much? And do you really want to spend all your money, not all your money, but your money on something that you feel like is going to be too hard? Right. So you might get a coach that says, well, we're going to change all of this within the first 2 weeks. And then you might get a coach that says, we're going to go by baby steps. Yeah. Okay, which one do you feel is going to be the best option for you?
Right.
Then there's acupuncture. That could be $75 to $150 per session. You could also, a lot of acupuncturists will do programs and packages because they do want you to come in for a specific set of times depending on the issue. You can get there's community acupuncture clinics. They may offer low-cost group treatments. A lot of insurance also pays for acupuncture now. So definitely check your insurance company if you're paying for insurance on that aspect. And it can be pretty healing because it's working on the different meridians of the body, like the energy levels and stuff. But on those meridians, they can get blocked. And by blocked, I mean like that can cause health problems in certain areas of your body. And so the acupuncture helps to like release that.
Yeah, I did community acupuncture with my kiddos.
Okay.
And they would go and sit, and it was an interesting setup.
Interesting. Okay.
But yeah,
cool.
I was surprised that my kids were willing to do that.
Okay.
But they did, and they
That's
enjoyed
awesome.
it. And obviously it was beneficial. I always feel like my kids are the best judge of whether something really helped or not, because if it didn't help them, they do not want to go back.
Right.
They'll like be very clear about that.
Yes, they're not.
No, I don't want to spend my time like that. I don't want to do that. But if it helped, then they're like, yeah, let's hop in the car. Let's head down there and try that again. Herbal medicine, that one is a little more on the full alternative side.
Yes.
And also can have amazing results.
Definitely. And you can start small. You can start with just a tincture, and you can go into an herbal shop and just ask a question like, hey, what would help with dry skin? And they say, here. Or what would help with my sleep cycle? And then they say, here, try this. And we just had a master herbalist give us an excellent class yesterday at a retreat that we went to. And she was saying that it takes up to 7 to 12 days for herbs to really start making a difference. So don't just do it for a day and think that, oh, no, I'm not fixed. That's not it. You have to allow your body to adjust to what you're doing and to let the herbs come in and do their work.
Yeah, I just got a tincture for my husband, and he's excited to try it.
Yes.
You never know.
Awesome.
But yeah, he was like, oh yeah, do you think I really would like to get off this one medication that I take daily? That is not, it's not good to take for extended periods, but guess what? It's been prescribed for him for like over 5 years, and every now and then he thinks he wants to go off of it. And really the answer for that is going to be employing a bit of herbal medicine to help his body adjust as he comes off that other med. And, here I just showed up with this thing and he's like, I want to try this again. And so we're going to try the weaning off and using the herbal medicine. And this, we're talking about, I think I spent $22 on.
Yep, same with me. I got one for my husband too for a very similar thing, you know? It's we'll try to get off of this one medicine.
Trying and paying attention to your body. And again, your symptoms and what's helping and what's not. And then doing a little research. Or asking that herbalist, what are going to be some things that will help support this process.
Exactly.
So, and then we have...
Well, the initial cost of a herbal consult.
Maybe $100 to $200.
Yeah, could be.
And some people think, oh my gosh, that's so much money. But you're talking to an herbalist who's done a lot of training. They may not have gone to an actual medical school, but they do know a lot. They have specialized, they've researched, they have these suggestions that they are trained to come up with to help guide you through a process. So this is leading me to just like that money thing again, that it holds people back, but really when you invest, you're exchanging energy and commitment. You're spending your money. You want something back from that. So it's kind of like a buy-in. You're kind of making that commitment that you're going to go ahead and try something, and you're paying for their expertise. And when you think about it that way, $100 to $200 really isn't the biggest expense.
Yeah, it's
because
really not.
If you're really looking at your health and healing,
if you think about if you weren't paying for insurance, for instance, and going and getting paying your insurance to pay for a doctor's visit. How much would a doctor's visit be? And they spend 15 minutes with you?
Right.
And that could be like $150 or more just for that visit. And, it's going to tell you the majority of the time exactly what you already know. And that's just how my experience has been.
Take a medicine. They're not really looking for healing an underlying problem. They're looking for a Band-Aid, a symptom, to relieve a symptom, but you never really got to the root cause. Whereas with all these alternative medicine practices, they're really looking more toward a root cause.
Get to the foundation.
What's underlying this challenge? And I mean, I am still unraveling a bunch of stuff for myself. And I'm always asking, what is the root cause? Sound healing, love that. That was a crazy discovery of mine. It can be $25 to $60 for a group session. Sound healing, a group session is
worth it.
Totally fine.
Yes.
I mean, you can do individual sessions too, and that can also be beneficial. But I love a nice sound bath or a group healing sound session.
Or you say sound bath, it's not a bath. It's like you're bathing in the sound.
Yeah, you're laying on the floor of a room, or even outside.
Just elaborate.
Okay, yeah, just in case. So and then you're just receiving the vibration from different instruments into your body, which can be amazingly healing. We can get into that another day.
It's wonderful, very soothing. And when you can de-stress,
that
helps your health.
Regulating for your nervous system.
Yeah, stress is killer. It's like the number one killer because it creates so many
Stress
problems.
is the cause of 90% of doctor visits in this country.
Yeah. See, there you go right there.
90%
go to a sound
of
healer.
Doctor visits are because of stress. Ultimately.
Makes sense.
So I don't know where I got that quote, but I've seen it before multiple times.
I've heard it before too.
Essential
oils. Yes, essential oils. I love them. I've used essential oils in my practice ever since the beginning. However, in 2018, I got introduced to the doTERRA oils, which did not compare to anything that I had used previously. And as a nutritionist, their supplements are amazing. So I just had to throw that in. The essential oils, there are like starter kits that you can get, and they can range anywhere from, $50 to thousands of dollars, really. Because like we have this huge kit, it's like called the Oiler Collections Kit, but you can keep it very affordable, $150. And they last a long time because they're so potent. Just like herbal therapy, you're using the plants from the earth and, try to get the organic options, where they're coming from. And these oils, where they're coming from, that they're tested and they're trusted. You don't want to just buy any oil off the market and think that it's going to help you on like a medicinal level. You want to get the good quality kind. $10 to $30 per oil or more, depending on how precious that oil is. Like rose oil is very precious. So if you're spending a cheap amount of, like a little bit amount of money on rose oil, guaranteed that is not real rose. Because it takes like 70 pounds of rose petals, which they're very light, to make one small little 5 milliliter bottle of pure rose oil.
Right.
So quality does matter, and look for a therapeutic grade. doTERRA has CPTG, it's certified pure, tested grade essential oils because they are tested by third party and by the company themselves.
And yeah, just because they do have actual healing properties
Absolutely
in them that can help you, but you don't always need the most expensive oils.
Right.
Even some of the lesser expensive oils can have amazing healing results. And one thing I love about oils and herbs that Sarah was talking about the other day is their adaptogenic benefits. It's how your body just takes what it needs from that. And you don't always know how, what it's going to need. And it just like takes it and converts it and uses it
absolutely
to heal. And I don't know, it's just pretty cool.
Well, because with that, our bodies are smart. Our cells, they know what they need. It's not, our brains don't tell our cells what they need. Our cells already have their own brain, so to speak, and they know what they need. So they're going to take in those nutrients and those phytochemicals in order to create a better healing environment inside. And instead of using man-made drugs where there's a symptom most likely resulting in taking that, you're not going to have, there could be potential symptoms with some things if people are sensitive to some things, but that's when you can kind of figure out what works, what doesn't. Everybody's so different.
Yeah.
And you have to individualize that care instead of saying, oh, you can't sleep just like these thousands of people, let's give you the same prescription. Instead, oh, you can't sleep, let's see if this helps. Okay, it didn't quite help. Let's try this one or this one. And let's, give it a good go at that modality.
Yeah. No, I love oils. Somatic experiencing, trauma-informed therapy or coaching. I've not personally done, there's a person in town, but I've not actually gone in and done a session with her. I don't know. What do you know about somatic experiencing?
Well, I did one breath work where it was a little bit of movement in it, and it was very releasing for traumatic experiences, but I've seen some somatic work just mostly online where you're really moving through the body. And I feel like your spinal stuff that you were talking about, isn't that more somatic?
It might be.
I think that's because it sounded somatic to me. And so somatic, what that means, as far as to my understanding, is that you're moving through the body in a way that allows for muscle memory and trauma to be worked through.
Right. Okay. So now I'm popping back in tremoring and shaking.
Yeah, the tremoring, yes.
And I try to incorporate, so I wouldn't call my yoga sessions somatic experiencing, but I do try to incorporate within those group practices, so affordable, things that are somatic experiencing, such as just rubbing down your leg when you're touching your toes or shaking. There's specific tremoring, which I love, more induced tremoring by David Berselli online. Look it up, YouTube. I'm going to circle back to that later because that's coming up. And then, or just shaking, getting into your body.
Well, and then there's a type of self-massage through Ayurvedic medicine, and it's called Abhyanga. And that's where you use specific oils. A lot of times they use sesame oil. That's not the one that you cook with, but the body oil. If you're allergic to that, you can use grapeseed oil or coconut oil. But you're literally giving yourself a massage, and you're creating a space to be with yourself and rub on your body. And if you have an emotional release, allow it to happen. And it's those emotional releases that happen through the body, through the movement, through any type of massage or body work. That's the somatic aspect of it. I feel that is where we want to make sure that we're not holding it in. We're not oh, I'm feeling emotional, I got to lock it down.
Right. Instead of locking it down, you're letting it.
We need to let it out. And that is going to allow that part of our body that might have been injured from trauma at some point to heal.
Yeah.
Human design and astrology.
Oh, my favorite.
Right in your wheelhouse.
Right in my wheelhouse. Not so much astrology,
Right.
but definitely human design. This is just, why would you want to do this? Self-discovery. Learning a little bit about you. We're all so different. We know that. Look around. No one person is the same as another person, nor should they be. And we're all wired so differently. And learning about yourself and how you're wired, or your kids, like, that can be so life-changing. It's usually $50 to $150 a session. You can get free charts online, just like you can get free astrology charts online. But the reality is, working with an intuitive practitioner who does this regularly will help you understand what those words mean in your chart and help you come up with like a practice or a way to start embodying that information.
Absolutely. Looking at the chart is very confusing. If you were to just pull up your chart and be like, okay, I have no idea what that is.
Right. So same with like an astrology chart for me. I just look at it and I'm like, I don't know what the 12th house is. I don't even have, and people will tell you, I'm like, I don't know what you're saying.
Unless you're willing to do like 10 hours of reading online and to just kind of break it down on your own, a professional is really,
that is why
it's so important.
Yeah. And those tend to have like an intuitive insight into because there's so much information. Like, what do you really need to hear right now?
Exactly. Finding your gifts, finding what you can work on in your life, for sure.
And then functional nutrition and wellness.
Yeah, nutrition and functional wellness. Let's see. So that could be $150 to $300 for a consult. And supplements really vary. So for me, if I'm working with somebody on the nutrition level and they decide to go the supplement route, which I highly encourage, because we really do need to fill in the gaps to our daily, sad diet, which is the standard American diet, which is typically very sad. So to fill in those gaps, and our food just doesn't have the nutrients that we need anymore. So many people are vitamin D, magnesium, vitamin B deficient. And those really cause a problem in our bodies. Also, like potassium can be a big issue. I've come across people that literally need more sodium in their diet, but then a lot of people have too much sodium. So you have to find a good balance and fill in the gaps. So when I talk to people and I get them on a good supplement routine, it's usually about $300 a month. And then that doesn't usually include the consultations, but it just kind of depends on what I kind of have a sliding scale, and I'm developing a program that is going to be more inclusive with all of my modalities. And so if you can find somebody that's willing to work with you in that space, in self-care coaching, movement, nutrition, supplementation, functional medicine, it can be very empowering and very healing, for sure. What does it say here? It says functional labs or coaching may be additional, but optional. So there are other nutritionists out there that do more than I do. There's people that will do labs, that will look at your blood under a microscope. And if that's something that you want to do, you go and find those functional nutritionists. I'm more along the lines of, let's look at your lifestyle and what are you willing to change? Kind of, I guess, more of kind of life coaching, but a little bit more on the nutrition side of things.
Right.
So it's not so detailed.
So yes, and I have done both and all. And even with the labs, here's like a newsflash. People can get so focused on getting that lab work and what it means. But the reality is, unless you make the lifestyle changes and do the work yourself, it doesn't really matter what the labs are going to say.
Exactly.
And you can do a lot of work without labs. And then maybe you're going along and maybe you hit a roadblock and you're like, I really would like to find someone that can do some labs. But if you haven't done any work first, like I worked with this one person practitioner that did not do labs, and we just did a lot of things. We did like a parasite cleanse, and she did muscle testing to help you figure out what your body needed. And then eventually I went and worked with someone who did do the labs, and it turned out I was in a lot better shape than I realized because I had been doing the work all along. Like I didn't actually have parasites, which I've done stuff and then it's come out like, I'm like, oh, ahead of the curve on a lot of these things, still behind the curve on others, but it's a process and it's continual and you're not going to find a quick fix.
And we just learned tapping yesterday. So you just saying that made me think, even though I'm still working through the process of my own health, I still love and
accept myself. Even though I'm not fully healed.
Yes,
I still love and accept myself.
I love that. I did that this morning for some stress that I was dealing with. And I'm like, oh, it feels better.
Yeah.
So tapping, was that EFT? Is that what it's called?
Emotional
EFT?
freedom technique.
Yes,
Tapping.
that can be a good technique too.
And then again, you can find people that take it really super deep, or you can just do a little tapping on yourself that's not, it's free. You can sort of learn it. And then if it's like something that really resonates with you, I think that's like the perfect example of like, this is amazing. I want to know more. Then you find someone that teaches that or a practitioner and you can dive deeper. And I think literally that's the lesson with all of this alternative meds is try a little bit, try the free or low cost option on your own. And then if it's something that's really resonating with you, then make the investment and a deeper dive.
And I want to just kind of backtrack on what you were saying about labs. I feel like I've never really needed to get into doing the labs because when people have health insurance, they can go get labs drawn from their physicians. And I've had several customers and clients go get labs done, start a regimen, and then 6 months later or to a year, get labs again and see that they have improved. Like liver enzymes, and thyroid issues.
What just like kills me is their doctor probably has no idea
what
they've done or how they've done it, or they're thinking, oh, you just cut out fat, when the reality is you've added all these supplements that help your body process it better, and you didn't do what they said at all.
And he was telling me the other day they were going to their doctor telling him, this is what I've been doing, it's the only thing I've been doing differently. And the doctor's like, oh, it's just a coincidence. And then they did it again. No, this is what's helping me. Oh, it's just a coincidence.
Yeah, I literally had, was that me? Or was that somebody else?
I think it was Sarah, actually, when she, at the meeting we had here, she was talking about that.
Yeah, I had this very similar situation where someone just, they were like, well, I don't think that's really what it is. It's like, okay, you can decide that. I'm like, that's fine. No, I don't need you to agree with me that I found something that actually has helped me.
If you're sharing it with your practitioner, that they might, and then share it with others. Like, here's a healthy, natural alternative.
That was absolutely opposite reaction.
And a lot of them do not have that reaction. Yeah, it's nuts.
So, I mean, somebody else was like, I never tell my regular doctor what I'm doing because
and they ask you if you're taking vitamins and herbals and stuff like that. But then if you tell them that, they're not like, oh, it's making you healthier.
It's true. They just want to tell you, oh, you shouldn't take that. You should stop. Just saying.
How to choose what's right for you.
I feel like we just kind of talked about that. Just trying the different things, seeing what comes in your radar. That's another thing too. Intuitively, what's showing up for you? And is it showing up more than once? And then maybe paying attention and being like, do I keep seeing an ad for that? Or do I keep seeing that because maybe I should look into it?
Car that you want, and then all of a sudden you see the same car everywhere. It's kind of the same
If something's coming toward you or something we just said resonated with you, like, maybe take that next step. Look into it a little bit more and see if it's something that'll resonate with you.
And if your body is saying, I want to check it out, but your brain is still behind the curve, listen to your body. Because our brains are brainwashed.
Yeah, they are.
Our society conditioned, that's the word. Our brains are conditioned to a certain way of thinking. But if your heart, if your intuition is saying, no, I think I'm still going to do it, that little voice, that little Jiminy Cricket in there is still going to give you that, let's go check it out. Just do it.
Just try it. And if you're not good at listening to your intuition, that is, again, what I help people do.
She does
with the coaching. That is part of it, is starting to recognize and listen to your own intuition and stop listening
to
all those outside things that are trying to sell you or keep you. Honestly, let's just say listen to your intuition. And if you don't know how to do that, there are ways to learn and
Yes, definitely.
reach out, because it is just a process of self-discovery and knowing how to listen.
Exactly. Kind of segueing into that is balancing our expenses when it comes to natural modalities that insurance might not cover, and then you have to pay for health insurance, and it's like, oh, I have all this money for health insurance, I'm just going to use my health insurance. But there's health savings accounts and flexible spending accounts. Tara actually has a lot of products now that will take flex spending and health savings accounts. So that's really amazing. A lot of massage therapists, a lot of different practitioners can use health savings accounts and flex spending accounts. They're a little bit different when you're using each one. Some of them, I think the health savings is a little bit more freedom in that, where you can use
but
it
not
for what you
everybody's
want.
eligible. I am eligible to do a flexible spending account through my husband's work. I finally this year did it.
Start using it?
Finally, and
nice.
Just for my glasses, or maybe for some of my supplements or something like that. But yeah, I'm like, I should be. These are things.
They're great.
Look into this if you're not using it.
If you're not using it, look into it.
It's just a tax-free. It saves you the taxes.
It saves so much money, and they're really great. We used it when my husband was a contractor, and I used it for so many things. Actually, I think I used it to get my LASIK surgery.
Yeah.
In 2016. I was like, dang, we got a lot of money in here.
And then different insurance reimbursements. Some health insurance plans will offer partial reimbursement. And on this, I want to add, I've met a lot of practitioners now, like physical therapists, again, kind of bridging that gap. Or even there's doctors in town now that don't take health insurance, and they'll give you a bill, a super bill, and you can submit it to your insurance. But the reality is, insurance is a big business, and a lot of doctors' offices have entire staff and departments dedicated just to filing and getting insurance reimbursement. So if you're a smaller practitioner, a smaller office, it's really hard to have a whole insurance department. Which is why they're now we'll give you the bill with the codes that you can submit. You might not get fully reimbursed, but you might get part of that money that you spent back. And I'm like, in my philosophy of life, I really want to support these types of businesses because they're trying to take away the overhead and keep their costs low. And also not be as beholden to the insurance companies, because the reality is the insurance companies can dictate
what kind of treatments you can do.
So and they're like, I don't want to be under that umbrella, and you might be having to pay out of your pocket for this treatment.
What kind of treatments you can do.
And they're like, I don't want to be under that umbrella, and you might be having to pay out of your pocket for this treatment. I'll give you a thing and you can submit it and see if you can get some reimbursement. But the reality is, I want to treat you the way I think you're going to heal.
Right.
Not
what
the insurance companies
more intuitive.
Will cover.
Exactly. And so it gives them the option. I really like that option. I also do insurance billing for several different companies. And, if you're a medical massage therapist, you can generally get into that side of things. Sliding scale fees are always, they've been a thing for a long time.
And then community clinics or group sessions, which again we talked about. Just trying it in a group.
Yeah, package deals, memberships, we talked about that too. And
the online resources.
Which we are. Barters and trading services. That's always a great option. I like to do that. We did that.
Yeah.
And, it saves a lot. So if you have something to offer, then...
And the person that's willing to do that barter or trade.
Exactly.
And then researching and comparing, and again, using that discernment. There are so many things out there, but like my one friend tried one modality that was like absolutely amazing for her, and I went and tried it and didn't work for me at all.
It didn't fit.
It wasn't a good fit. But I am in a space of willingness to try right now.
Yes.
I am open to trying. I'm really trying to hold back because I want to try too many things, and you can't try everything at once. You have to try something and see if it works and let it integrate for a minute. And then, so I'd probably have a list, like I said before, I have a list of things that I still want to try, but I got to work through the stuff that I'm already doing right now.
Yeah, and you don't have to become a practitioner and all these things. You don't have to go to school for them to be able to use them. And you know, healing is not one size fits all, just like we were saying. It's a journey to reclaiming your body, your voice, and your power. And whether you're a skeptic, a seeker, or somewhere in between, you're welcome here. So thank you so much. And we invite you to put in something that you're going to try or a new modality that you've recently tried. We would love to hear what you have to say about that.
We'd love to hear from you and what you tried and loved or maybe didn't. Either way.
Like us and friend us on Facebook, or are you on Instagram too?
I am.
On Instagram, you can find us there. Also my YouTube channel. And, you know, we would just love to hear from you and know what you're doing right now to heal yourself.
Yeah, because it is smart to be skeptical.
It is. We've both been there. So it's important.
It's also good to be open-minded.
Yes, and moving from that skepticism
to curiosity.
And then to the seeker. So
thank you
so much. Have a great day. We love you.
Yeah, let's open it. I think the lighting looks better on the thing.
Or I can go this direction.
There, let's do that.
That's good.
Oh, yeah. There you go.
Okay, perfect. Just gotta adjust my eyeballs.
I know. I'm like, it's really good. Like, maybe I'm overreacting. Are we recording?
Yeah. Okay. This is our blooper.